XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
The very next clause which we are going to apply is group by clause. So let's try to understand what is group by. Group by clause is used to group the records. So the syntax goes somewhat like this: select aggregate function, that is nothing but multi-row function, or group expression from table name where filter condition, group by column name or expression. So this is the basic syntax which we are going to use to solve few of the questions. Please have a look at the syntax. We can see where clause has been enclosed within it is enclosed within square brackets. As mentioned, whatever is enclosed within square brackets, that is not mandatory, that is optional. So as per our question, if there is no conditions to be executed, I can skip where clause and I can move on to group by after from clause. So after select from, I can directly write group by. If there is any condition has to be followed, then we have to mention where clause. So this is totally optional. Let's try to understand the same thing with the help of a small example. You can see there is an employee table. There are 4 columns: employee number, e-name, salary and department number. So the respective employee number, name, salary and department number has been given, and I have given the same question, that is write a query to display number of employees working in each department. So what we are going to do is, there is no condition and we are going to make use of group by. What is the task of group by clause? The task is to group the records. Now select, what do we want? Number of employees. So I will use count function. So select count of asterisk from employee table. There is no condition over here, so we will be skipping where clause. After that, we are going to write down group by which column. We are trying to group the records as per which column? As per department number in each department. That is, in department 10 we are trying to form a separate group. Department 20 we are trying to form a separate group. Department 30 we are trying to form a separate group. After forming separate groups, from each group we will be counting how many records are present. So group by department number. So let's try to understand how internally it executes. Always we mention, I have pressurized on order of execution also. This time, as usual, first from clause will be executed, second where clause, and as mentioned earlier, where clause always, if where clause is present, it should be executed row by row. The task is to filter the records. So if where clause is present, it should be executed row by row. The next one is group by. What is the task of group by? To group the records. Group by clause itself executes row by row. Now why row by row? I'll explain. But let's understand and remember this thing. As per the syntax, I will write select from where group, but internal execution will be first from clause, then where clause, after that group by. So group by clause itself executes row by row. We have to remember, after group by, whichever clause executes, it executes group by group. After group by clause, whichever clause executes, it will always execute group by group. So after group by, at the end select clause will execute, that is group by group. Let's try to understand how it executes internally. So first from clause will be executed. So it will go to the database and search for the table and put it under execution. Now the after from clause, where clause should be executed, but as per our question there is no condition. So we will move on to group by. So group by department number. Now what the compiler will do is, it will go to department number and it will check each and every department number. So now first thing, it will go to first row and the first record belongs to department 10. So there is no group formed for department 10. Now the next task what it will do is, it is trying to form a group for specifically department 10 and it will include that specific record into that group. So first record has been included to department 10 group. Now next it will check the next row, it belongs to department 20. Now for department 20 we do not have a separate group, hence we are going to form a separate group for department 20 and we are going to include this record into that. Done. Next, the next row belongs to department 10 and the group has been already formed for department 10. So only task left is to include this particular record into that group. Done. Again, next, department 30. The fourth record belongs to department 30, but there is no group formed for department 30, so it will form a one group for department 30. Okay, next row belongs to department 20, so it will belong to the group which is already formed, and the last one is department 10, and it will include that record to department 10. So separate groups has been formed, and I hope all of you understand now why group by executes row by row. This is not our final answer. After from clause, we were still executing group by. We are still at group by clause. Now we can clearly tell how group by executes row by row, as a result of which we got separate groups internally as per department number. Now after group by, we do not have separate rows, we have separate groups. Now from each group I need to find the count number of records. So at the end we need to display the count. So at the end select clause will execute, but not from individual row. It will display the count as per individual groups. So first group, total number of records are 3, second group 2, and the third one is 1. So the final answer as per our query which we are expecting is count of asterisk will be 3, 2, 1. So we successfully got the answer, that is for each department how many employees are working. So result will be displayed like this, well and good, but there is a small issue. We got there are 3 people, 2 people, 1 people, but we won't be knowing internally how it executed. How would we know these 3 people belongs to which department, or these 2 people belongs to which department? It is not displayed in the result. And on the top of it, I have already mentioned earlier, whenever we are taking select any multi-row functions, we cannot take any simple column name or expression along with it in select clause. Just now we covered that portion. We can't take any column name or expression along with multi-row function in select clause. So what should be done? Let's try to execute the same thing in our workbench first. So the question remains same, write a query to display. Okay, I have already written the question. So there is no condition. So select count of asterisk from EMP, group by department number. And it gave us the answer 3, 5, 6. It is separately giving the count, well and good. But we don't know these 3 people belongs to which department, 5 people belongs to which department, 6 people belongs to which department. And on the top of it, just now we covered, along with multi-row function, we cannot take any normal column names or expressions. So what should be done? Now let's have a look at our syntax again. So check out here. So in the syntax, I have mentioned select aggregate function and group function. Aggregate function is nothing but multi-row function which we already used in our answer, that is count of asterisk is aggregate function. But what is this group expression? So along with aggregate function we can also use group expression. Group expression is nothing but the column or expression used along with group by clause. Whichever column name or expression we are using against group by, that column automatically becomes the group expression. Only that column name or expression which is used along with group by, we can use that specific thing along with multi-row function in select clause. Let's try to understand this. So as you can see here, select count of asterisk from EMP group by department number. Now department number is acting as group expression. So whichever column we take against group by will automatically act as group expression, and only that column I can take against multi-row function in select clause. So now easily it can display count of asterisk and department number also. So these 3 people belongs to which department? 10. These 2 people belongs to which department? 20, and this 1 person belongs to which department? 30. Now we can easily tell these count of people belongs to which individual department. Let's try to execute the same. So as I had executed this earlier, we can see 3, 5, 6, these are the different count of employees in each department. But since department number is acting as our group expression, I can take select count of asterisk comma department number and I can execute. Now easily I can tell this 3 people belongs to 10, this 5 person belongs to 20 and 6 people belongs to 30. But can we take any other column names along with it? Let's try. If I am trying to take salary column, no, it will throw error. So only that specific column or expression which is acting as group expression, we can take it as an argument in select clause along with multi-row function. So here we can't take sal, we will be taking department number. Let's try to solve few of the question. Write a query to display maximum salary in each job. That means there are different type of designations. In analyst, what is the maximum salary? In manager, what is the maximum salary? So whatever different designations are present, we need to find out what is the maximum salary provided in the respective designations. So answer will be select max of sal from EMP. So there is no condition, I can directly go with group by. Group by job. Again, it is providing the maximum salary, but we don't know these salaries belong to which designation. So of course, in such type of questions, please never forget to mention the group expression, that is nothing but job. Okay, now very clearly we can say 1300 belongs to clerk. There are 3 clerks. It doesn't matter how many clerks are there. So how many clerks are there? Among their salary, the maximum is 1300. Among all the salesmen, the maximum salary is 1600. Among all the managers, the respective salaries has been mentioned, and so on. Let's try to solve another question. Write a query to display number of employees working as clerk in department, in each department. So in department 10 also there might be few of the employees who are working as clerk. In department 20 also there will be few of the employees who are working as clerk. So how many employees are working as clerk in each department? So how should we answer? So first of all we need to find the count. Okay, so count of asterisk in each department, as in the group expression will be department number. Of course we are going to group it as per department number from EMP. This time we have a condition. We are trying to find the number of employees, but those specific employees should be working as clerk. So I should write where job equals to clerk. After that we are trying to group it. So after filtering all the employees who are working as clerk, then we are trying to group the records as per department number. So in department 10 there is only one clerk, in department 20 there are 2 clerks, and in department 30 there is only one clerk. So these are the few questions related to group by. Let's try to solve another question. Write a query to display number of employees working in each department if there are at least 3 employees in each department. Let's try to understand this question. So basically we are trying to find how many employees are present in each department. In department 10 how many, 20 how many, 30 how many, and so on. But we want the count to be displayed only if in that specific department the minimum employees working should be 3. If a specific department has less than 3 employees, I do not want that department count to be displayed. Only if that specific department has minimum of 3 employees working or above it, only then I want the count to be displayed. So this is our condition. Let's try to answer. So select count of asterisk from EMP. So there is a condition this time. So what is the condition? If there are at least 3 employees. So our problem here will be, till now we understood how to write conditions. If I am saying salary more than 1000, so I would write sal greater than 1000. This is how we write the complete condition. Again, if I am saying working as clerk, then I would write job should be equals to clerk. Well and good. But this time our condition is at least 3 employees. There should be at least 3 employees. So what is this 3 employees? This is nothing but count. We are counting the number of employees. How should I write this particular condition? Every time from now onwards, we have to understand the question, how to frame our answer. So at least 3 employees means how to frame this condition. That means count of asterisk should be greater than or equals to. Why greater than or equals to? Because I have mentioned at least. So minimum 3 or more than that. So the count should be either equals to or more than 3. So this is how we would write the condition. Now let's try. So where count of asterisk should be greater than equals to 3, then group by department number, and we can mention our group expression. Let's try to execute, and it is throwing error. Let's check what is the error. Invalid use of group function. Which is our group function? Count of asterisk. Now what is this error? Earlier, while explaining the rules of multi-row function, I had covered a point where it says we cannot use any multi-row function in where clause. Why? Where clause executes row by row, but multi-row function executes group by group. So this is the very reason why we cannot use a multi-row function in where clause. So how should I write my condition? There is a question and I have to answer it. Yet this is a condition, and in where clause we write a condition. So if I cannot use multi-row function in where clause, then what should we do? Now specifically for this type of situations, we have another clause that is called having clause.